Hi, this is Misha, and I'm gonna guess that most of you here follow the main Mishaco channel. If for some reason you don't, please do check that out at Mishaco. And a couple of days ago, I posted a very initial teaser preview video on this gun here. This is the Kalashnikov-USA KR9 Carbine, chambered for 9x19 NATO 9mm Luger Parabellum. This came in the shop this week, and I just figured for the personal channel here I would give some more thoughts and kind of less formal stuff. Why not? It's one of those guns that, you know, I'm not going to say I was never interested in a Vityaz, but I guess it was never a burning need. And, you know, I heard, you know, Kalashnikov-USA will be doing a clone. But, good grief, that was 3 years ago, and not much was happening. So, when these were shown yet again at SHOT Show, I was kind of skeptical. And when they started appearing in stores, I was pretty amazed. But, you know, I was interested, but not on fire. But then one came into stock at Atlantic, and my timing was good, and I grabbed it, and they had spare mags. And when it came in, I liked it. And the more I research it and study it, it's one of those guns that I've really quickly, in just a couple of days, grown to love. And I really hope shooting doesn't disappoint, because that's the proof of the pudding. I think if this thing proves to be reliable, it might be a new favorite, but you never know. Speaking of mags, this is my old mag pouch here. I can't even count the number of different submachine gun type mags I've had in it over the years. It's a really good pouch. It's thick. It's got kind of canvas back sides. It's got a loop on the back. It's just a simple Velcro closure. These mags fit in it pretty nicely. The pouch is just a smidgen longer than the mags, but not not too bad. You see here, the lip kind of hooks at the top nicely, and yeah. These are curved mags, so there's not a lot of room. Not a lot of pouches will hold these as long and curvy as they are. As I pointed out in the original video, the floor plate is polymer. Excuse me. Bleh. This is why I did the personal channel. Okay, thanks. The floor plate is metal. The body is polymer. And if you look at the polymer, it's a very close representation of the kind of modern polymer that Izhmash uses. So they did a very good job of copying. Likewise, the markings for 9mm and the Kalashnikov, there's that, 9mm, are very close to the Izhmash markings, and they feel good. I mean, they feel light, like the modern mag you'd want to be, but they don't feel flimsy. They don't feel like they're made of like that Zytel. Like they've got just a little bit of give to them, but not enough to feel cheap. They even have stripper clip guides at the top where you could use it to fit different stripper clips. And the mags, considering they're special proprietary mags, ostensibly made here in the US by Kalashnikov, so, you know, molds and whatnot costing what they do. The fact that the mags are $30 some odd is not bad. As I showed in the original video, they really go in the gun easily. I can remove it one-handed without much trouble. I wanted to point out some things. I did note some additional markings on the underside here in front of the trigger that I wasn't aware of yesterday. As I pointed out in that first video, this does have an XY stamped receiver, dimpled magwell. I didn't point it out, but it also has the reinforcing plate above and in front of the pistol grip. And as a few people have commented, one little complaint I had was this nubbin where the stock locks, and how the stock locks, that it has kind of its own special thing. Apparently that's how the Vityaz-SN stock does lock. By the way, another name for this would be the PP-19 It's a further evolution of the original PP-19 Bizon. Interestingly, this was designed in part by the grandson of Kalashnikov and the son of Dragunov. Kind of an interesting pedigree there. I did note that the original style of rear sight made specifically for 9mm is used. And I did confirm that the muzzle device, the slotted one, is correct for a 1901. Obviously the barrel is extended. Originally the barrel would be about 9 inches on the submachine gun, or 13 inches for the short Saiga-9 semi-auto, or 14.5 inches for the standard Saiga-9 carbine. So this isn't much longer, only 1.5 inches or so, 2 inches at most, than the standard gun. I've gotten kind of used to how the stock folds, and I'm getting better at it. Let's see if I can open this up for you on camera. This might be, yeah, there we go. Hinges open, as you see. The firing pin safety, the out of battery safety, it's interesting. It uses the ejector to trip it. You notice it has a kind of a block, a larger piece in the back behind the spring to keep the bolt from bouncing off the rails. It's a definitely more durable, elegant solution compared with the Romanian method of just having a synthetic block back there. The rail on top is riveted to the cover. Magwell's polymer, kind of like a Vepr 12, but it is removable for replacement or maintenance. Trigger's fine on this. Feels like the hammer spring might be a little extra power, which would make sense for the trying to set off 9mm. Plus, it has a spring-loaded firing pin. Obviously, a standard sling fits. This is kind of a Russian or East German sling. I forget which I threw on here. Oh, come on, chair. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to jar you there. I noted in the first video this handguard's a little loose. A friend told me that that's a common thing with all of these so far. So I'm probably going to try to pop this off and put on an original Russian handguard. We suspect it might fit perfectly tight. Maybe this handguard's a little undersized. We'll see. Got this little gas block with the rail. The gun's reasonably lightweight, about 6.5 pounds. And when you fold the stock over, even with this long ass barrel, we're pretty tiny, guys. And if you were to SBR it, even smaller. What's nice about this, the receiver's size specifically for a 9mm. It's not a standard receiver. Typical opening there. Originally, I just got the KR9 because it's what I could, what I found, what was in stock. But after playing with it, observing it, I'm glad I did. I would rather have the stock, and I can always cut the barrel down, versus having a short barrel, but then trying to figure out a stock option, because this is an internal, you know, folding stock. Finding the specific Vityaz stock would be rather difficult. Much easier just to chop this barrel down, especially since the spring and detent are in the base here already. Cut it down, rethread it, boom. You're in business. Whoever did this paid a lot of attention to an original, which isn't surprising. It's known that Kalashnikov-USA does have some post-sample PP-19s and PP-1901s, so they had the guns to measure there. But I don't really see any evidence of corner cutting except for maybe the Tabco trigger group, but everything else seems to be a really good clone of Russian. Again, down to the way the receiver's marked, the way the rivets are domed, the stock locking, the rail on top, the hinge, the sights, stock. Even this grip, it says Kalashnikov-USA or whatever on it. But it's just like the grips we saw in all those Saiga-12s that Fime sold off years ago. They had the original grips. You notice like the Molot grips have the finger grooves, where the Saigas do not. They're just bulged. But I like this grip. It pushes your hand up. It doesn't have those grips, the grooves to kind of bump up against you. I don't know. Like I said, I hope this is a good shooter. Knowing my luck, we'll have issues, but so far so good from the reports I've heard from other people. But every gun's different, every gun's unique, and these are still so new to the market. It's impossible to really tell anything conclusively yet. But it was a fun surprise. Definitely glad I picked this up. You can notice how the ejection port is done. How that is curved. For the 9mm, even has this little lip in the front. The bolt handle kind of hangs down over the side a bit. It's very specifically done for 9mm. It doesn't feel like they took a standard, say, AK-74M, AK-101, AK whatever, AK, 104, 105 type, and just slap 9mm. It actually has that purpose-built feel to it. And aside from the lower handguard, everything else is really tight on this gun. The stock locks up tight, the pistol grip is tight now that I tighten the screw up, mag well fits tight, fake gas tube upper handguard is tight, sights don't flop around, bolt is secure, safety isn't overly tight, and it does have the extended shelf. So yeah, I am tentatively very happy with this. Can't wait to get it out, try it out against the KR9 from Romania, see which one is the better 9mm AK style gun. And then if it shoots well, we'll probably get around to SBRing it sooner or later. But gotta make sure it shoots well first, or otherwise it's kind of wasted, in my opinion. I just thought, talk about this a little more. Why not, guys? And we will come back with the shooting video and also a history video. This has been in Russian military and police service for a little over a decade now. They adopted it in 2008. It's used by a few other people as well. So this isn't just, well, I mean, the original Vityaz, which this is based on. Well, technically this is based on the Saiga-9, which is based on that, but you get the idea. So there is a certain kissing cousins relationship with a military gun. Better than just something purely made for the commercial market. But yeah, so far, good job, Kalashnikov-USA. I like the attention to detail, that is for sure. Well, if you could, like, share, and subscribe as always. Feel free to comment below, we like that. Otherwise, this is Misha, and I will catch you very soon. Hopefully on a nice sunny day. Next time.